Welcome to the architecture of vulnerability. This video explores how economic scarcity creates the conditions for authoritarianism and why radical community care is the essential structural antidote. We'll examine this through a three-part framework: the micro level of scarcity and cognitive tunneling, the macro level of demagoguery and fantasy narratives, and finally, the antidote of community care and bandwidth restoration. Scarcity imposes a quote-quote bandwidth tax, which is a lack of cognitive capacity. Like an overstuffed suitcase, this resource drain is equivalent to losing 10 to 14 IQ points, inhibiting long-term planning and complex analysis. This scarcity mindset forces, quote, cognitive tunneling, a neural shift. The brain prioritizes immediate survival. The orbitofrontal cortex surges, while the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive control, drops off. We focus on the pressing threat, losing the broader societal picture. Economic shocks and extreme inequality lead to the destruction of predictable daily routines, causing the collapse of ontological security. This collapse is the loss of existential trust in the world, resulting in chronic societal anxiety and a feeling of lost socio-political control. This anxiety creates the authoritarian's opening, or emotional governance. Demagogues don't create the anxiety, they harvest it. They simplify the complex world by offering fantasy narratives, providing an illusion of control to an insecure public. This creates a, quote, vulnerability cycle, where inequality breeds scarcity, leading to cognitive exhaustion, a demand for strongman solutions, and ultimately, authoritarian control. To break this loop, we must intervene at the point of scarcity. History shows that care is radical resistance. From Mussolini's Italy to the Black Panthers and the 1980s ACTUP movement, the most effective antidote to authoritarianism is the quiet, resilient infrastructure of community care. Mutual aid is distinct from charity. It meets survival needs outside of top-down systems, mobilizes people to understand why resources are lacking, and solves problems through collective, highly participatory action. To structurally relieve the cognitive bandwidth tax, we must remove the terror of housing scarcity. Shared equity models like community land trusts permanently block speculative market forces and embed affordability by separating land and home ownership. Shared equity models provide the architecture of stability. Unlike conventional low-income ownership, they offer pooled community risk, nonprofit stewardship, pre-foreclosure counseling, and democratic board governance. They free up individual cognitive space by holding the risk collectively. Centralizing care generates collective efficacy, built on mutual trust and a willingness to intervene. This shared framework helps communities view crises as solvable, temporary aberrations, rather than inevitable failures, thus immunizing against demagogic panic. This is the ultimate power of structural care, cognitive liberation. By capping rent and sharing resources, you escape the desperation trap. This restores goal-directed choice and executive control, allowing you to reclaim the bandwidth needed for civic deliberation. The result is a quote-quote virtuous cycle of resilience. True democratic resilience is built not on arguing facts, but on aggressively removing the conditions of scarcity that make the demagogue's fantasy appealing in the first place. A thriving community is the fundamental cognitive and structural defense against tyranny. Consider what you can do this week to centralize care and build resilience against despair.